Welcome to this week's Blue Green Solutions Virtual Counter Day. With me is Adam Matthews with StrongBox. And StrongBox is a manufacturer of enclosures for the irrigation and the power industry. You've probably seen StrongBox out there in irrigation pedestals when you want to secure a controller on a wall of a building, or obviously for backflow enclosures when you need to protect your backflow from being stolen or tampered with. A StrongBox backflow enclosure is the way to go. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Adam Matthews, and Adam will tell you a little more about StrongBox.
Thanks, John. So today I want to go over StrongBox as a company. I want to go through our process for building, our manufacturing, fabrication, how we come up with the ideas and bring the products to you, and then discuss the products that we have available and what we can make. So StrongBox has been in business since 1986. We make irrigation controllers, backflow enclosures, backflow cages for a variety of landscapes, roadways, public areas, even into the rail systems, the electrical world. So we have a wide variety of products that fill numerous different applications. So going through the manufacturing process, we have a large variety of different manufacturing punches that we use, hydraulic, laser cutters, press brakes, and just to name a few, we have a Strip-It 20-ton turret punch, and it's really awesome to watch, actually. If you ever get the chance to come by the StrongBox facility and take a tour, it's incredible to see some of these machines work. And the reason why we use these large, expensive machines is essentially so that every time that we make a press punch, every time that we do a laser cut, they are identical to the ones that we've been doing for the last 20 plus years. So if you needed to replace a door, the punches that are coming out today are identical to ones that were coming out 20 plus years ago. So you can replace a door, you can replace a lid, everything is replaceable and will fit perfectly from today as it was, 20, 25 years ago. Our turrets and our laser cutters are consistently calibrated and measured to the accuracy within 0.005, which equates to about 2 hairs in thickness. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah, the product is always perfect to what it used to be. And the best part about our facility is that the people who work there have been there for, 20 plus years. We keep guys on staff, and they like working for StrongBox, and they're amazing at their jobs. So, we cut these products with the laser cutters, then they go through the punches to get the perfect punch holes. And then, last they go to these large 140-ton press brakes where they're, physically bent. You can see in the bottom left pitch there, bent into, the shape that you will see in the finished product. And when they come off that press brake, it's incredible on how much they resemble the finished product. So the lines are butted right up against each other. There's barely any edges. So when it goes to the welding, almost all of the job is done. It's not like they have to pinch things together or attempt to clamp things. Those lines are already perfectly in place and the welding is ready to go. So which brings us down to the welding. We TIG weld all of our enclosures. And again, these welders have been there for, I think the newest guy is 7 or so years in with StrongBox. So again, retention is great, and finding welders is a full-time job. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about that. We've got, great people in place. So when these welds come out, typically when you're looking at a weld, if you see it done poorly, it'll be clumpy and, kind of looks like lava that was flowed. Our guys are right on top of it. They lay down nice, perfect strings of weld. Then afterwards, we come out and buff them, reduce any awkward looking pieces. And if needs be, we can certainly use an acid wash to remove any of that awkward staining or that rainbow effect that you see sometimes with welding, just to make it look perfect. And if you get a chance to look at a StrongBox, take note of the welds. It's something we take a lot of pride in. They're just beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen many of your boxes out there before, and you can't. Yeah, the welding is incredible. It's like you can't even see a weld joint. Normally, you see that rippled joint going up, and in your cases, they're really smooth. They're really tight looking. So
Yeah, we try to say, what we use is that the welds make them look like the edges were formed rather than welded together.
welded, yeah. Hmm.
And it makes a big difference in the quality when it's that smooth.
Yeah, as far as corrosion and how long it lasts, I'm sure it would make a big difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. So then after everything is welded together, we go to final assembly. Final assembly essentially is where we do all of our inspections. We add the last minute products such as the bolts and screws. We assemble everything together, put everything in place, and everyone on our staff, everyone who works on the floor, everyone who works in the office, they pride themselves on being out there and actually checking the finished goods to make sure that there's nothing that's off. That's why we have such an incredibly low rate. We send these products out up to our standards, and our standards are incredibly high. The units are checked again for form, function. They're measured. Everything is perfect by the time that it leaves the door. And again, we take a lot of pride in that. And here again, this is where having a staff that's been around for so long and they know the products inside and out. They've built these products so many times before. They can just almost, if you blindfolded them, they could feel what's wrong with it if there was something wrong with it. And we put that product right, aside every time. If it needs to be rebuilt, if it needs to be scrapped, then so be it. But, we're going to make sure that the best product goes out to our customers. So speaking of scrap, stainless steel is 100% recyclable. And most stainless steel is recycled. So when it gets resmelted back down and then pushed back out, a decent amount of that is recycled. And we recycle all of our scrap materials from aluminum to cold rolled and definitely stainless steel. So there's really no waste that comes out of StrongBox. And even in the laser cutting process, we make sure that our cuts are as close as possible, reducing any amount of waste. And this does a bunch of things. It keeps costs down. It keeps our production up and running where we're using less stainless steel and less sheets. So it really is important to know that we do recycle and when we recycle all of our scrap. So I briefed on production qualities, but one thing that we do is we constantly talk to our contractors. We talk to architects and designers, specifiers. We talk to people in distribution, and we ask them frequently, what do you stainless steel enclosure? What do you need from us to make this product better for you? We always want to continuously improve if we can. So we are always, like I said, we're always interested. And some of the things that we've done is originally they said, we need punch louvers, we need cross ventilation. We need to be able to move cross ventilation where necessary. So if someone asks us to build a specific box, they could tell us where they want the ventilation, we can add it. Rain channels on finished goods. This way, the rain obviously won't come in. Hemmed edges, gasketed seals, anything that needs to be done, we can certainly do it.
Yeah, I know, Adam, we always had an issue with controllers with the heat and the ventilation. And I know your boxes were always good because of how much ventilation there was in them. And also you have the ability to add a fan, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And just stainless steel as it is reflective. So what stays, what's inside typically will stay cooler than the ambient temperature outside. StrongBox is UL listed. If you're unfamiliar with the Underwriter Laboratories, UL is a leading product safety and certification organization. And essentially, they gave us a stamp of approval for being a NEMA type 3R, which means that it is outdoor environment ready and rain tight. So it can withstand ice and rain and whatever is getting thrown at it. This is important. And all products that you see out in the field should be UL listed. If they're not, then please buy StrongBox.
Right, and a lot of the boxes I've gone through before with the NEMA ratings, when you have to have completely watertight or rain tight or dust proof, all that, the different NEMA ratings that you can, go to.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do make products that are 4X and 4R rated. So we do go above and beyond if that's what is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why use stainless steel? It costs a little bit more than regular cold rolled steel. However, if you're looking at the long term, these boxes that you're seeing on the screen right now, who knows how long they've been out there. Unfortunately, with cold rolled steel, you will see these types of enclosures out in the field that have been there for 3-4 years. Once that rust starts, it will just continuously eat away. If it's in an area that has a lot of humidity or is in low-lying and gets wet along the bottom of it, that rust will start, and it does not look pretty. And by the way, those pictures were taken, just going back to them, these pictures are taken in San Diego. So it's not like this was in Canada or something where they were getting salted and torn up. I mean, these were, taken within 5 years of them being installed in a completely humidity-free area, essentially in San Diego. So it's unfortunate, but this is what cold rolled steel does, and this is why we say stainless steel. So corrosion is a big problem, and again, just out and about, if you're walking around your town, take a look. You will probably see boxes like this from our competitors. And you'll see the areas in which that they just start to rot out along the bottom. And once that rust starts, again, it is just downhill from there. And there's really not much that can be done. Another big problem with cold rolled steel is that it's painted. It's powder coated or painted, however they decide to go about it. But once vandalism starts, once people start spray painting over it, the only option is to repaint over that paint. And it just looks awkward after a while. There's no means of really cleaning it off. Whereas with stainless steel, you can walk up to it. Anyone who has a stainless steel dishwasher or something along those lines, if there's anything that happens to the outside, you can always polish it up and clean it. Our stainless steel is no different. Someone spray paints all over it. You can go out with some WD-40 and a Scotch-Brite and just kind of buff it off and it looks great. Same thing with stickers. They come off considerably easy. There's no paint for it to pull off. So when these units are stainless steel units, now let me put one up here, are out in the field, if stickers are getting placed on them, if there's graffiti, again, those types of vandalism are really easy to take off. These units have been out in the field for 5 to 10 years, probably even longer at this point. And you can see that they're dusty and you can see that there's fingerprints on them. But just like any other stainless steel, you can walk up and clean them and it would look bright and brand new just as the day that it was purchased. So
right. Yeah, and Adam, the most important thing is it's protecting the gear inside. In most cases, electronics inside are being protected in those boxes. So
right, yeah, we like to say that the boxes will outlast the controllers that are inside of them. And that is not uncommon where I was just on a college campus a couple weeks ago where they were on their third turn of irrigation controllers inside of our boxes. It's terrible business for us because we're not replacing the controller boxes or the enclosures. Right. But the campus didn't think anything of it. It's a stainless steel enclosure and they'll just keep replacing it and just switching out the backboards. every time that there's improvements to irrigation, which there are frequently, a new technology comes out, a means for saving water, and, they take out the old unit, put in the new one, and, you give a wipe down to the stainless steel enclosure and it looks brand new.
Right.
So yeah, they, snow, rain, sleet, flooding, anything that would affect it, essentially, stainless steel is always going to be the product that you want placed on your property, especially if you're looking at a homeowner association or a park. They just look better over long periods of time. So some of the things that we create, some of the things that we build, really proud of building, are stainless steel enclosures for irrigation, for battery packs, solar panels, but irrigation is our bread and butter. It's what we enjoy. We love the irrigation association community. So in choosing our stainless steel enclosures, you're getting corrosion resistance, you're getting material strength, this chameleon effect that we will talk about often. You can see that, competitors of ours will have this odd like seafoam green or, like a tan color that goes out into the desert. It always looks a little bit off. With stainless steel, it kind of just blends in because it mirrors, its surroundings. And typically, you're just used to seeing it. You're just used to seeing stainless steel out and about. We do powder coat if necessary. If a job requires that it be a specific color, then we certainly can do it. Pretty much any color that you can think of. Recently had one that threw me off. Someone was looking for a jet black enclosure, which really kind of threw me off, but it was going into the shaded area and they wanted to hide it. So, again, any color that you want, we'll make it. Would you make aluminum backflow enclosures? So as you can see from the pictures, tell us what size backflow you're going to be using, and we will have the box perfect for you. There is a patented locking system, so the padlock itself will be concealed. You won't be able to see it, which again helps with vandalism. The enclosures also, you can get a polar barrier bag if it's going to be in a colder climate. And it is a great option for, parks or homeowner associations, sideways, where, you don't want people to know what's inside of that enclosure, which we're seeing more and more of here recently. We also make backflow cages. Again, great for parks, recreation, where you're looking to protect. Again, the cages are, we can powder coat them. We got the concealed locks. Yeah, there's a lot of these stainless steel cages that just aren't pictured here that we can design, build, set out to you guys. And again, these would also have the polar barrier bag set up as well. Would you make power pedestals? So 100 amp, 200 amp pedestals. They are your typical metered, non-metered. We have our load center set, the landing lugs. They are a typical power pedestal in the fact that they function like all others. Again, what separates us is that our designs are newer. We went to contractors, electrical contractors, landscape architects, and said, hey, what do you want to see from a power pedestal? And one thing that we hear a lot of is we want to be able to add the irrigation controller on the back end. So it's just one unit instead of having a power pedestal and a irrigation enclosure sitting right next to it. We want it to just be one unit like we're seeing up here in the top right picture. Mm-hmm. And so essentially, they were designed and built with the contractors in mind, just to make it easy for everybody to install, put the irrigation controller on one unit, and get you guys up and running. We do make them without the irrigation control package on the back end, which you can buy just as a standalone unit. When they come, they are wired, tested, and ready to just stick in the field and add the incoming power and send it back out. There are a variety of options, and certainly if you have a project in mind where you're thinking about meter pedestals, then by all means give us a call, and we will help you guys set up.
Great.
Quick pads. When we're installing these controllers or the stainless steel enclosures, this is a question we get all the time. How can I make it easier? And this is one easy way. Now, essentially, you dig out a hole and you would put in the StrongBox quick pad, which is what you can see here on the far right. And you drop this unit in, you fill it with your pea gravel, set it to grade, and then right from there, you would just drop on your enclosure. The best thing about this is that if you need to move it, which happens unfortunately frequently, where the designers or someone from the homeowner association says, hey, can we move that 10 feet this way? In this case, you're not digging up concrete, you're just digging up this box and then resetting it.
Yeah, that is, I do like that option a lot. It's a lot nicer than having to get the concrete and build forms, even though building the pad is not that difficult, but it just makes it a lot easier for contractors that don't usually, deal with concrete that much, or it's just another thing, another supplier they have to go to. This way they can just pick up the quick pad and install the box. So yeah, that's a great option.
All right, one other thing that StrongBox makes, and we're real proud of, is our tree ties, stabilizations, pipe stabilizers. It's a big part of our business. However, there's just not a whole lot that has to go into explaining it. They are cinch ties and twist braces, just like you see out in the field. We are real proud of our products. We stand behind them. Again, we just never really have any returns or instances where there's issues with the cinch ties or braces, because they're just made really well. So we have a variety, and again, you can speak with John or your local distributors and find out more about the cinch tie products. But again, they're great products, and they're ready for you.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people even know about the pipe stabilizers, and if you're doing a temporary irrigation system, that you have that available. So I didn't know about it early in my career, and then I found out about them, and it makes it so much easier to put in a temporary irrigation system that's really going to be robust and not easy to kick around or people to steal stuff. So really helps out in that respect.
Yeah, absolutely. And our cinch ties are a big seller for large-scale nurseries, homeowner associations, obviously new builds. Anywhere you can think about, new trees going in that you want to make sure are going to last you, through the season. Put a cinch tie on it and leave it up to StrongBox to keep it safe. So that is StrongBox in a nutshell.
Good. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your time.